Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call. I'm sure there'll be more pop on here in a few minutes, but we can go ahead and get started. So, yay! I'm so glad that so many of you went to Super Saturday. Hooray! Um, we're going to kind of share top takeaways and things like that. Honestly, it wasn't anything earth-shattering. It was back to the basics. But honestly, that's what Plexus is. It's simple stuff. It's just basic things. But I still gleaned quite a few good little nuggets from it. So I know Gretchen was going to share her takeaways, and we can open it up to anyone else that wants to share a little bit. Woohoo! Okay, so go ahead and unmute Gretchen. And after Gretchen's done, if any of you want to kind of contribute a few thoughts or takeaways that you had, you can unmute yourself and we'll go from there. So, all right, your turn, Gretchen.
Hey, I think I found my unmute button. Are we hearing? Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it was definitely, we covered a lot of the basics, but very good stuff. And I did definitely had some takeaways. I hope I'm not raining on your parade, but I'm very excited about the Rank Up Roadmap. I think that's going to be a really, really helpful tool. So that's coming out soon, and that's going to be exciting. I had a couple of different takeaways here, and I'm looking back on my pages of notes for the ones that I wanted to share. One thing that I was very excited about and inspired by was talking about storytelling and telling our stories. That was very something that I needed to think about in a new way. And I had a lady that got on and talked, first of all, told the story of her grandmother who crocheted and made these little pretty much useless crafts, very ugly Christmas tree ornaments, and this little counter for your golf strokes. And when she would go to craft shows, she would have crowds of people around her table. She would sell out because she would tell the story of her golfing partner, Judith, who always cheated until they made this little device for counting golf strokes. And her grandmother would have said that she was not a salesperson, which was true. She was a storyteller. And they talked about a study that had been done on what storytelling does, and that it starts in our brains, that it actually releases two hormones. One was cortisol, which is linked to attention. So stories, as we know, they grab our attention. The other one, I think it might have been oxytocin, it's the trust hormone. It creates trust, it creates connection. And when we're listening to a story, we participate, because as we hear little details and things that we can relate to, ugly Christmas tree ornaments, we create those pictures in our mind, so it creates connection. So then she went on to talk about the 3 stories that we need to be able to tell. Telling the story of our why, finding a moment. I could actually picture a couple of different moments from my past that were leading up to the why of why we even looked at doing Plexus, and that's a story that I need to tell. So we need to tell the story of why we're doing it, the story of the products and what they've done for us. Bring out those stories of emotion. I remember the day that I walked up my staircase, and at the top of my staircase there is a window, and I looked out. It was a rainy day, and I realized I was walking up that staircase on a rainy day, and my knees were not hurting, and they hadn't been hurting. That's a story I need to tell, because that was a moment of victory, and also the story of the opportunity. And for a lot of us, we may not have a big story to tell yet. We can tell somebody else's story. We can tell just Megan's story. There are people that we know. Other people that we know, and we can also find those moments of success. That first time that we've gotten a check that we're big enough to pay for our groceries for the month. that, first time when we've gotten our products for free, that time recently I was able to tithe on my earnings and pay for a year of care for a girl who's been rescued from human trafficking. So to tell those stories, she said, practice them, but don't memorize them. You don't want it to be canned. Be real and share from your heart. Give details. Like I just mentioned, looking at the staircase and looking out the window on the rainy day, but don't ramble. Those were her things. And then do tell your story. So I found that to be helpful, inspiring, exciting. I can't wait to dig into that a little bit more. We mentioned stories grabbing your attention. Another thing that grabbed my attention was another story that someone shared, talking about a tree, a big, huge tree on a riverbank with a group of trees around it, and that one tree being one that came down in a storm, which was so strange because all the other trees were standing. This was a nice big tree, but as you looked at it, there were little tiny bugs inside, so small that you could squish them with your fingers. But those termites had been eating away, and they had destroyed the strength of that tree. And they were talking about the termites that we need to guard against, those things being worry, fear, doubt, and excuses. That's my favorite pet termite. So that was a good, obviously that story connected, but that was just a good word picture for me in dealing with those things that are temptations to worry, to be fearful, to doubt. And then my last takeaway was just some encouragement from Sarah Taylor. She was one of the diamonds that was kind of leading the meeting. And I was very encouraged by her story because she shared some of the struggles that she went through, that it wasn't just a zoom to the top. She said that in her journey, she was stuck many times, that when she was 1 year in, she got stuck and she actually dropped rank. That one time she was stuck for 7 months, and her encouragement was that just because you're stuck doesn't mean you're over. It just means that you have something to learn. And she said, this really is about you. It's not about your team, your upline, your downline. It's about you, and you can rebuild. Attrition happens to all of us, so I found that to be very encouraging. So those were my takeaways.
Thank you, Gretchen. That was wonderful. Okay, I don't see Casey. Did Casey hop off? Casey was going to share her top takeaway. Well, did anyone else on this call want to share a little bit about something they learned? Some top, maybe something that stuck out to them they'd like to share with everyone? If you want to, just unmute yourself.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead and share mine. So I love the Rank Up Roadmap as well. So for those of you who maybe weren't at Super Saturday, it's a program designed to basically help you every step along the way. And so each rank has specific training and information to help you along your journey. I really liked, so basically you can unlock those like training points once you hit that rank, and all the previous ranks are still available to you, but you can't unlock the farther ranks until you've actually reached that goal. So I liked, and I don't know if this was communicated or if I just wrote this down, but that we are in the driver's seat. I think it was communicated there. We are the navigators and we are the pace setters. So I liked that analogy. Kind of goes back to the storytelling and the word pictures. I think that really helps us grasp the points that are trying to be made. I too really tracked with if you lose rank, to look within. So I really appreciated that point that Sarah made. And then don't get bogged down, get busy. So amidst all the distractions that we can get busy with, or get bogged down with, I should say. We need to get busy, just focused. That's one of my word for the year is focus. Also, I like the homework that they gave. So if you haven't done this, or if you feel like you need to kind of revamp for the first of the year, it's set your goals, SMART goals. They went through the acronym, and also the Frank's list. Okay. And if you're not sure what those are, check with your sponsor or search it on the team page. And then your why. And your why needs to evoke emotion. So you kind of have to break it down. It can evolve. And also, it needs to be bigger than you. I know that I don't know that they said that yesterday, but that's something that Justin and I feel strongly is our why has to be big outside of ourselves, you know? That's something that fuels us and inspires us. I liked the other piece of homework that they gave, which I did do a post like last week on the team page. I maybe will make another one. We'll work on that this week, is to create create a dream board. Basically what it is visualization. I can't say it. Basically visualizing what you want out of this opportunity. So I just did it on my phone. You could cut pictures out of a magazine. You could, however you want to do that. But basically, using pictures. It's funny how, even kids, when they're learning, they need to be learning in different, the kinesthetic, visual, and auditory. I think the same applies to us with success in our business, is being able to picture what what our goals are. So, it might, for your family, it might be, it can be a whole bunch of different things. For us, I posted my dream board. I have my kids, and I have a picture of the globe, because that represents missions that we want to help support, missionaries. There's a house on there because we would love to be able to move to a bigger home and have a space to host people.
We need a bigger home.
All those sorts of
things. We're there. We're ready.
But it's okay. I love my house.
Yeah.
But anyways, those are some of the things that I have put on my dream board. So that's something, if you haven't done that yet, work on that this week. Okay. It's not an IPA, but it is something that will help fuel you in your business. Storytelling, yes, Gretchen covered that. Totally tracked with that. And then another thing, I like that they encouraged us to find a partner for IPA, so you're accountable with your income-producing activities, and that our routine should support our IPA. We should have office hours, and we should have weekly goals. And I will say, too, just pulling from some other training that I listened to recently, is that if you want to be successful with this opportunity, we need to be reaching out to double digits weekly. So that means you can't just expect to talk to one person a day and go anywhere. You have to have enough effort invested that it's going to produce something, okay? So honestly, it doesn't take that long to do the IP part. So anyways, those spoke to me. Take charge of our businesses, build relationships, always be talking to 3 people all the time. We're building relationships with 3 people all the time. And I liked that Sheila Medina, she was the very first diamond in Plexus. She was a hoot, by the way. Mm-hmm. But she said, be that friendly face. And I liked that. She said, when you're out and about, she's like, sometimes you have to shut down the computer and just go out of your house and go meet people. And be that friendly face. So many times I'm in the grocery store running errands, whatever, and I'm like just over it. Like, I'm not friendly. I'm just like wanting to get my groceries and go out. But honestly, I loved her perspective that learn to connect with people. It's a skill that you're going to learn and develop. Learn to network with people. You may not even say anything about Plexus. It's more of a growing process for you. So you learn how to invest in other people and draw out from them. Honestly, even if you just give them a smile and ask them how their day went, that can be such a blessing to them, And it's it needs to be part of our persona as networkers. We have to learn to talk with people. So I will let Justin share it. Oh, the last thing I did say, my main takeaway overarching theme for yesterday was reevaluate. So that's where I'm at. It's kind of reevaluating, okay, me as a leader, what am I needing to improve? things like that. So that was my main takeaway with all of this. So, all right, your turn.
Ready? Okay. I thought the Super Saturday was awesome. I was excited to be there. The weird thing is Friday night we had an opportunity to share about some of Megan's health testimony and then kind of my testimony in light of coming home. And I shared about road construction. And the funny thing is my old road construction boss's brother was in the crowd and came up and talked to me afterwards. So it was kind of a small world. And then I had to explain to him, yes, your brother is under me in Plexus, which that didn't go over real well. But anyway, whatever. So I thought it was awesome. I was excited, and it wasn't because there wasn't a whole lot of new information that we heard. Most of it we've heard before, but they were all such good reminders, and they were just good things to hear again, because some of them I'm not doing. I know to do them, I'm just not doing them. So it was really a great thing for us to be at, to hear a lot of these things we already know. My overall theme for the whole thing is kind of like what Megan said, is just back to the basics. They covered going silver over and over again, going to events, talking to people, success kit, the back office. I've asked a lot of diamonds over the last year and a half, give us some advice. What do you say? And it's been consistent since our first event we ever went to. Mm-hmm. Go silver, go silver. Teach your people to go silver, go silver. And this weekend, what'd we hear? Go silver over and over again. So when I was in church this morning, I heard a guy named Matt Chandler. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not, but Matt Chandler, and he said, where'd my notes go? I have too many notes. We're getting ready to do a Bible study by Matt Chandler at church, and one of the things he said was, everybody wants new revelation, but no one wants to do what we already know. And I thought, well, how fitting for this back to the basics Super Saturday this weekend, and I think that's what we need to do. I mean, we're constantly hearing from a lot of these people that have succeeded. Just go silver, go back to the basics, go talk to people. And so it was good to hear those things. And there's things, yeah.
In light of back to the basics, I feel like I have really duplicated myself in light of we're reaching out and recruiting a lot of people only for the products. So in light of growing, we have to be reaching people with the business and the opportunity as well. And so that's kind of, I was looking within and reevaluating for myself, and that I noticed that that's probably why we're where we're at, is because I'm passionate about the products. But like Justin said, he's like, we have to be talking about the business and the opportunity with people. There's a lot of people out there looking for an opportunity, and Plexus has it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but the basics, going silver over and over again, it sounds redundant, but really it's a pretty simple plan. This is kind of a monkey see, monkey do business. And that's what the people at the top have done over and over and over again. They've gone silver, and they've taught their people to go silver. So if it's worked for them, you can assume it's going to work for us. And it's a pretty simple approach. The success kit also, I need to go back and reread all the success kit. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of what they shared yesterday was just straight out of the success kit. I'm like, I've read that page before, as I need to revisit that. I need to go back to the basics. Another thing was, a lot of what they shared yesterday is straight out of the back office. All that compliance stuff that they shared about the FTC, FDA, income, products, what you can share, all those things, they're right there. I noticed in the 27 unread messages I have in my back office. So I know I go to my dashboard, but I don't really go to my back office. I confess, this is my confession time. I don't read emails because we just don't use email anymore, and I really don't plug in as I need to in the back office. So what I've had to do over the last month is make myself check my email in the morning and in the evening, because I just don't use it. But the same thing I'm going to start doing tomorrow morning is with the back office. When I check my emails in the morning and in the evening, I'm going to check my back office. I'm going to see if I have a new message. I'm going to see, is there a new tool? There's a lot of really good information in there, and I have not been plugging into that. But tomorrow I will. Megan mentioned about, there was something else here. Oh, she mentioned something about a partner, having a partner. I think that's very important. I have a couple partners, some men that I've met in Plexus that aren't even on my team, and I've given them, I guess, an open door to just speak truth into my life in a lot of different areas. And they're not easy on me either. I asked the question, the success on demand really excites me. And they kept saying yesterday, tools, it's under tools. So I get home and I'm like, it's not under tools. So I call my friend. I'm like, hey, where's the success on demand? He said, you need to be a problem solver. Figure it out. I'm like, what is that? Which was, it kind of irritated me. But anyway, so, but we found out the answer. It is not under tools. It's under training. Success on demand is under training in the back office. So I'll be plugging into that. And I'm excited because when I'm on the treadmill or whatever else, I'll just plug into Success on Demand. I'll listen to some audio and some things like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. Megan had made mention about the Frank's List. Once again, this is all back to the basics. It's also found in the Success Kit. But one of the things they brought up was that the Frank's List is not a cold calling list. I thought this was very profound. She said it's not a cold calling list, it's a network marketing plan. Your Frank's List is. I thought that was good. Sarah Taylor said that, and she also said that she did not use her Frank's List, or she also said, that she didn't use cold calling to build her business. She used attraction marketing, which I thought that was really good.
Sorry, folks.
Yikes. Did you see that? Golly. Sorry. Reality. This is reality for us, okay?
Oh.
Wow. Anybody can do network marketing. See, this is proof here, right? But she used attraction marketing. She purposely went out and attracted people to what she had to offer. And I think that's the same way that Bridget Ryan is doing. If anybody's familiar with Bridget Ryan, they're marketing, they're kind of selling their lifestyle, really, and it's attractive to people. So that was kind of a big note for me right there, the attraction marketing. Also, they made mention that each person on that Frank's List represents a market, which is pretty cool if you think about it. We shouldn't underestimate one person, because that person represents a whole nother market. And also, they were given some statistics out of Facebook on the social media part, where there's 1.79 billion active users on Facebook. That's a lot of people. And each person has an average of 339 friends. So I kind of broke that down. I was thinking, so each person is worth 339 people. And each one of those people is worth 339 people, and on and on and on. So, the social, we need to be posting, it kind of, you wonder if anybody's really paying attention. I didn't get any likes the other day, or, whatever. No one likes me. Everybody's mad. What are they thinking? They hate me. I probably got them followed by my mother-in-law or whatever. Anyway. But honestly, one thing I've been learning is that when I've done a video, it's been pretty consistent. If there's 400 views, there's about 40 likes. it's pretty consistent. About 10% of the views are in likes. Does that make sense?
Sometimes there's no likes though, but that doesn't mean people don't see
Right.
it either.
So you have to somewhat assume that your regular posts, if you have 40 likes, you can safely probably assume that there's been 400 people scroll past it or at least look at it, whether they liked it or not. So people are paying attention, and people are still reaching out even after a year and saying, hey, I've been following you for a while. What's this Plexus stuff? You know, so.
Can I tell a story?
Yes, storytelling right here.
So Cassie, we were chatting on the way home last night from Super Saturday, and she said a friend told her that she had decided she would, if Cassie did Plexus for a year, she was going to watch her for a year before she joined. And so she did.
Yeah, that's funny.
But that friend's thought process was, well, I'm going to watch her for a year and see if this is really something, you know, she's really going to do. If it's really legit and that the products are good. Yeah.
I don't know. There's just so much good stuff that I already knew, but it was good reminders, like increasing your Plexus knowledge. You know, for me, I need to go back and revisit the Success Kit. I need to reread all that. That'd be a good thing, a good reminder, a good thing for me to do. I'm going to do that. They mentioned learning the compensation plan, studying that a little bit, and having a good grasp on what that is and what it isn't. Understanding compliance. I didn't know. Friday night, I'm at the Plexus Opportunity event sharing my testimony, and then the Diamond, when we got done, was like, how'd you get away to saying that? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know. Was it? She's like, yeah, that wasn't compliant. And I'm like, oh, no. So I need to brush up, apparently, on the compliance. So we had a good time with it, but it's serious. There's people out there paying attention to what's being said and what's being posted, and we need to guard ourselves from that, guard our businesses from that. You know, and just to increase my knowledge of those things, of the back office Success Kit, all of those good things. We're about done. So I don't know. Oh, one thing, if you signed up to go to the Super Saturday and couldn't make it, be watching for a email, because they recorded one of them. It might have been the one Jessica Heffley did in Ohio, and they're going to make that available for anybody to rewatch it or to watch it for the first time if they weren't able to make it. So that's a pretty cool thing coming up. So be watching your emails from Plexus about that. And convention is coming up.
Yes, we got to talk about convention.
Convention.
Okay, so do you want to talk about it?
I don't care.
Okay, so one thing that we feel very strongly about, and that's really taught in Plexus and just this industry, is that events are so crucial because they build your belief and they are inspiring, and yeah, you just learn so much. So some of you might be thinking, oh goodness, it's in Las Vegas. It'll, you know, you have to pay for your own travel and your hotel and things like that. But Tamara gave a good breakdown. I posted it on our team page of some ideas that, you know, we're not going next month. We have how many months? 5 months or whatever to prepare, to save up, to, you know, work on growing our businesses so that we can use that commission money to put towards that trip. But basically, it's worth it to go. Okay, leaders are born at events. That's the big thing that they really stress, and I agree with that, because the events that Justin and I have attended have completely built our belief. We've met people. I mean, just the whole experience has been very beneficial for our business, for us as individuals. Just even meeting like-minded believers and families. I'm thinking, ooh, future. You know, even just future kid connections and who knows, maybe marriage. I don't know. You know, just expanding networks and things like that when you have people of the same beliefs and mindset, and, you know, just top-notch people, you know.
Yeah. But the events, you know, when we went to the first leaders retreat, the events have been so beneficial for us. I can't They've been incredible. Even the things we've learned at events we're going to be able to apply them to our lives even after Plexus, or they've been just such good stuff. But so at one leaders retreat, we left thinking we can do this. Another leaders retreat, we left thinking we have to do this. And then the convention we went to is where I just felt like this is the path that the Lord has for us. So we're going to take it. So the conventions are, and all these events are they're powerful. They're just, they're pretty awesome.
You can't duplicate or convey the energy that happens when there's that many people, that much training, that many, all that in one place. So, and also honestly, if you want to be a leader in the company and you want to have a team, you want to grow a business with this, you need to be at the events. So whether it's a weekly Zoom call, thank you all for being on, by the way, very encouraging. This type of energy is going to filter down into our businesses and create momentum that we want to see. So leaders, show up to events, and you have to, that's one thing Sheila said, you have to feed yourself. Yeah. Feed your Plexus soul by plugging into at least one event a week and doing the IPAs and doing those things, growing yourself, growing your knowledge. We do have a couple things, the 60-day trim up. I'm encouraging all of us to do that. Even if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, do it for the health and wellness benefits and for the resources that you're going to have access to, okay? And you can definitely promote that for people that do need to lose weight. It's going to be excellent. So that you can register for. We have till March 15th to do that. And then after that sign-up date, you have 2 months to complete it. And then the New Year, New You group that Angie's organized, woohoo, yay, is going to start tomorrow morning. And I am still inviting people to do that. So even if they're not able to, I'm like I want them to do it and get their products ordered by tomorrow. But even if they have to jump in on the second week or whatever, they need to get healthy, use it to help grow your business, encourage people to, pour into themselves to, meet their goals. Oh, so we have a chat message here. I thought that, how do we invite people to that group? Well, did you see, I did some videos. Are you talking about the New Year, New You group? I did some videos and just encouraged my Facebook audience. And I've messaged people about it as well, customers, ambassadors, even encouraging people to restart. And also, I don't know, my brain has been on overload, honestly, since the beginning of January. And I thought that maybe I offered an incentive last week. Anyone on the call last week remember what that was? Unless I just maybe thought about it and didn't actually communicate it. Angie, you were on last week. Do you remember? Anyways, if I did, message me what it was. Okay. Is that it? All right.
Pretty much. It's going to be an awesome year.
Yes, we're very excited.
We're just going to make it an awesome year. I'm pumped. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But tomorrow morning we're going to be up, hopefully on time, to pray. So if there's prayer requests, you can put them on the team page. There'll be a post, and we encourage you to jump on with us at 6:30 Central Standard Time, and we'll approach the throne together.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or anything they wanted to share real quick?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to add that on the New Year, New You, like a few people have asked me, why is it that someone has to order products in order to be on it? And it's because of the giveaways that we're doing. We're giving away products each week. We're also giving away a Fitbit at the end. And so we want it to kind of be level playing ground for everyone. So that's why we're not just adding people who are interested in Plexus. They literally have to be a customer or an ambassador taking the products. So I just want to clarify that. And then real quick, something that Justin said earlier about the compensation plan. I had someone come to me recently who's very interested in Plexus. They knew the compensation plan so much better than I did. It was kind of intimidating. They knew it and they had been researching it. And I had no idea they were even following me or watching things. So we definitely need to know the compensation plan. So Just giving you guys a heads up there.
Yep, I agree. And it's all right there in the back office. You can download stuff in the back office. It's in the Success Kit, I think. Well, maybe not the Success Kit, but
Love the magazine that they gave us out at Super Saturday. Love. So it's definitely a marketing tool. And also there's now a new magazine. You can access it, I think, from your back office and order them. The new catalogs, I mean. Very well done. Love the graphics. I thought it looked very nice. So anyways, hi-ho for a new week, and we'll let you guys go.
all right. See you guys.
Bye.